Hey everybody, it's Andrew Martin coming to you with another Monday Minute. Full disclosure, it's not actually Monday, it's Saturday afternoon, but I wanted to get this one in the hopper so that I could have it ready to go Monday morning and get it to you to start your week off. And as always, my intention with these is to give us a thought or an idea or a tool or something just to kind of think about for the week to send us off in a new direction and begin to create the life that we truly desire for ourselves. So I want to talk a little bit today about the law of attraction. Now I know that if you're watching this, probably you are familiar with the law of attraction. If not, in essence, basically the law of attraction says that whatever we put out there is what we get back. I like to think of the law of attraction as the universe is basically an echo chamber, and that whatever vibration, whatever frequency that we are putting out there into the world is going to bring us more of that in return. And I know that one of the most frustrating things, or one of the most confounding things for a lot of people, can be that when we begin our spiritual journey, or we begin to use the law of attraction from a conscious perspective, if there's one area of our life that we just can't quite seem to get a handle on, or we just can't seem to unravel it or create the kind of life that we envision for ourselves in this area. And it can be a little frustrating when we are consciously thinking and saying and doing one thing, but what we're getting back seems to be the opposite or very different than what we thought we were going to create. And I find that generally, or I know that generally it's because there's an underlying vibration that is usually on the subconscious or unconscious level that we are really not even aware of. And this can be because it can be a thought or an idea or a belief that we have held for so long that we're just not even aware of it anymore. It's just sort of our normal, set point, and so we're not even really aware of this idea or this belief that we have. Or perhaps sometimes we're coming about a problem or an issue from a perspective that might just not allow us to see it fully for what it truly is. So I'll use myself as an example. Several months ago, I was having an issue with money. Not a dramatic, scary issue with money. I had enough to pay my bills, I had enough to pay my rent, I had enough to keep food on the table, but I just always seemed to be coming up a little bit short, or there was never really enough for me to save and really feel comfortable, or, I could, just not have that amount and that level of abundance and affluence that I wanted, and I really thought that I was doing everything that I could do to create the kind of life that I wanted for myself, but it just didn't seem to be working out in the way that I wanted it to. So I had a reading several months ago, and this technique was given to me by another channel, and it dramatically changed the way that I view money and my relationship with money. And so I want to give this to you, and in hopes that it will work for you as well. And it's very simple. Basically, you just take whatever area it is of your life that isn't working out or isn't manifesting in the way that you wish that it would, and you treat it like it's a person that you have a relationship with. You approach it with the intention of wanting to solve this relationship from a very positive standpoint, and you basically sit down and you write them a letter. You can do this in an email format, you can do this handwriting, in a journal. I personally like to type on my computer, so I opened up a new journal document on my computer, and I sat down and I began to write to money as if it were a person that I had a relationship with. And it started off just kind of along the lines of, "Dear Money, I know we've had a really long history of relationship in our relationship, and I haven't always been the most responsible for you and with you, but I really want us to get to a point where we are in each other's lives on a more consistent basis, and that you're around in the way and in the manner and in the amount that I wish that you would be, and that I envision you being in my life. And I just want to know what it is that we can do to get to the bottom of our relationship so that we can have a very easy, very fluid, very happy relationship together." It was something along those lines. And then what I did is I opened up a second document and I wrote from the perspective of money as if I was responding back to the letter that I had written. And it said, something along the lines of, "Dear Andrew, thank you so much for writing me. I'm so happy that you finally taken the time to sit down and write this letter to me, because there's so many things that I've been wanting to talk to you about and wanting to tell you about. And I really want our relationship to be a happy, positive, loving one. And there's so many issues that I know that we can work out together. And I know that we can get to the bottom of this and blah, 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 blah. And so this went on for several days, me just writing back and forth from my perspective and from money's perspective responding to me. And I will tell you that the most amazing thing happened when I began to do this process. What I suddenly realized, I had this epiphany, was that my issue was not with money. My relationship with money was a symptom of a deeper, more unconscious vibration that I was carrying, and that unconscious, sort of subconscious vibration was my fear of stepping into my truth, of turning on my light and raising my hand and saying, I am a spiritual teacher, I am an intuitive healer, these are the gifts that I have and that I want to give to the world, and here is me standing in my truth and speaking openly and honestly and living from a place of the heart and living with integrity. And what I realized is that money, to me, the kind of money and the kind of abundance that I envisioned for myself was directly tied to me living in my truth and me living openly and honestly and full of integrity from a place of the heart. And I will tell you, the minute that I made that connection, that money was not the issue, I wasn't supposed to be, or I didn't need to be focusing on money. What I really needed to look at was my relationship with myself and my insecurity and my fear of being judged and my fear of standing up and speaking my truth openly and honestly. The minute that I became aware of that, and the minute that this just sort of presented itself to me, my relationship with money immediately shifted. Now, I'm not going to say that I, suddenly won the lottery or that, $1 million landed in my lap, but I will tell you now that every single payday, I have more money in my bank account than I expected that I would. Money seems to be no issue whatsoever. It flows in and out of my life effortlessly. It shows up in completely unexpected ways. And the more that I live in my truth, the more that I'm honest with myself and with others about what it is that I truly do and living from the heart, the less important money becomes, and the more it shows up in my life in ways that are completely unexpected and wonderful and amazing. And I've also been able to take this technique of just sitting down and writing to other areas of my life. So any area of my life where I'm not quite getting the results that I want or the results that I expect, this completely uncovers for me a whole new level that I was previously unaware of a subconscious, unconscious vibration that I am carrying and that I'm putting out there, and completely lets me understand what it is that I'm doing and how I can fix it and change that vibration or alter it in a way that allows me to start to see the kind of life that I want for myself to manifest. So go ahead and try it. Think of an area in your life that is less than what you want it to be, and begin to write to that part of your life, whether it's your job, a relationship, money, whatever the issue is. Begin to write to it from a perspective of like it's a friend that you want to solve a problem with the intention of creating a healthier, happier, easier, more abundant relationship with this area of your life. I would love to hear from you how this works. I would love for your feedback to let me know what changes this allows you to make and what this uncovers for you in your life. It's a pretty powerful way of beginning to look at our lives in a new way, and frankly, it's really, really simple. So go to my website, drop me an email, or go to my Facebook page, send me a message. As always, I appreciate you watching. Thank you so much for stopping by. I wish you well, and I'll talk to you soon.